right, 176,815 miles, 73 degrees Fahrenheit. We're dealing with May 14, 2023, and it is raining outside. Watch my vloggers. Adam's in New York doing a Ghostbuster vlog for the Hook and Ladder number 8. I thought that was interesting, so I made some comments about that. And we're gonna be heading to Central Market to pick up, I guess, like a lunch, whatever. So far, I've only had a bowl of beans, so I got to put that down for calorie count. I don't know. I added some pico in it and put some Whataburger picante. So that's all I've had right now. But I did get the haircut. I've been wanting to get that for a while. All right, we're on our way to drop food at your doorstep. Preparing for Hollywood. All right, we're turning into Chapel Hill Square, Fort Worth, Texas. Not too far from Central Market. The place has pretty good chips. Now, this is the Marty Leonard Chapel. It's a community chapel. It's also a wedding chapel. It was constructed by E. Fay Jones, the disciple of Frank Lloyd Wright. It's got tons of glass in it. It's glass and wood, and there's a great little piano in it. Linda and I actually played piano there. It's really cool looking. And they've got cats on the outside. They've got stray cats all around it. The groundskeeper keeps up with those cats. And that's it, Marty Leonard. There's the grandpa sitting next to the two daughters or granddaughters reading. You can kind of see it. Let's see. There we go. It turned into Grand Central Station all of a sudden. There's the grandfather with the granddaughters. There it is, Central Market. And this is where you get your health food, which is what we're eating for the rest of my days. I'm never going back to fast food ever again. I've given it up for life. You can have all the hot dogs you want. I'm done with it. There it is. All right, so we're headed in. All right. It's our rainy one. It's Marty Leonard Chapel. You guys have one of those right there with your hand? The other one? Yeah, that's like, that'll work. Oh yeah, good. I'd be making 6 figures if you didn't care. We'll see when we lay it down without any of this good Mexican hell. Right. So it's rainy, and rain is good. It's a good thing for delivery. Got some lunch. We're gonna pull over. I got some ginger tea. I made it home. And George's a little meal. At least we get one instead. I'm gonna probably go to another area. Probably turn everything on in just a moment. And there is the man with the hat. It's constructed in 2000, February 17th, by Mia Angelina. That's the artist that did it, Mia Angelina. That was February 17th of 2000. She constructed all of these that are down here on Chapel Hill Square in Fort Worth. So this is Chapel Hill Square in Fort Worth. They've got Slice City Pizza, New York Pizza and Slices, Nectar Juice, Beverly Hills, the shopping center with Central Market at its kind of central point, I guess you could say. The Central Market is the Central Market. That one's also Mia Angelina, and it's February 17th of 2000. Pretty good one. So we're not doing any kind of fast food. I'm not going for that. I'm nearly 50 years old. It's time for me to eat better than you. So you can have your fast food all day long. I promise you, it will kill you. Fast food will kill you. As well as cigarettes and beer and all the fun stuff. The fun stuff kills you pretty fast. Now, I did get one of these. I did get a cracker. And a utensil. And this is what we got today. Probably not gonna eat all of it, but it's basically all your fun stuff. Like your watermelon, pineapple, tomato or tomato. And the one thing I didn't get, because they were not prepared there, was a napkin. But I have this, which is close. And these are kind of one of those salads they have there. I use the spinach mostly at night with beans. I make beans and spinach. Spinach has a muscle building component in it. I don't know what this is, if you know what it is right here. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of garnishment. Those are carrots. Pineapple. Cantaloupe. We're gonna have the good things in life from this point on. That'd be an egg. A piece of tofu. But don't forget, we're gonna follow that off with a piece of ham. How many calories do you think this is? I'm guessing maybe 800. That's what I'm putting down in my chart. Better than a pastrami sandwich. Watermelon. This one is turkey. Turkey square. Black olive. And turkey square. Good to go. Well, we're going to Olivella's It's right next to this Jim Gutner TV. And here it is. Best pizza in Texas. Olivella's Pizza and Wine. It is pretty fancy. I haven't had the pizza, but they won on D Magazine. So that was like 2 years back. Don't know who won last year, but they definitely have the prize for best pizza in town. It says right here, best in Texas, USA Today. Best pizza in Texas. Oh yeah. This is basically how big it is. So they won best pizza in Texas. So. Just threw a 96 mile per hour. Let's see how fast this one is. 97 mile per hour fastball. Okay, I got you. About this place is you got to pull on the door. Anyway, so they're kind of cheap with the Parmesan. Maybe they'll sell this pizza in Israel. Olivella's is pizza and wine, or at least the Parmesan. Yeah, that's all the Parmesan he gave me. I was like, goodness gracious, it's not like we're in freaking Judea. Anyway, I'm gonna be dropping this off at your doorstep. So in 1 month, about a month, June 23rd, John Cusack will be at Will Rogers in Fort Worth. And I do plan to see that. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty good one. Now he will be passing through Dallas too. So he's not just gonna be in Fort Worth. But I did not know that he was planning to even come to Fort Worth. I didn't even know this until Facebook. And I'm assuming that he planned last year, it was like maybe 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago or so. He came through Dallas for sure. He hit the Majestic, touring with, I think, Say Anything and Grosse Point Blank. I have to double check if he toured with Say Anything, but I know for sure he toured with Grosse Point Blank because I followed some of it. And I found out on Facebook that he's going to be here in Fort Worth, Will Rogers of all places, which is interesting because Michael Keaton would actually come to the Kimball when he'd show off his horses. He was spotted at the Kimball Art Museum. So movie stars have passed through Fort Worth. It's amazing. But the one, if I could sit down and have like coffee, which I don't know if I would be able to with John Cusack, that'd be really cool. I would want to talk about Max, but I'm not going to talk about Max at the at the convention. So I mean at the Will Rogers, because he's touring with Say Anything. So I'm gonna talk about Say Anything, and then I think the other one he'll be touring with the 16 Candles, which I think is a fun one. But I'm going to talk about Say Anything because it kind of has a little piece in my heart. It's a really good movie. You should see it immediately. It's one of the great romance movies coming right into the 90s. But check it out. So I really do need to get to LA by September, and I've already decided where I'm going to go. I'm not going to give my whereabouts on where I'm deciding to go, but I already have it planned. So I'm going to put the money aside, and I'm going to give them that money to hold the place. Then I'm going to show up, and I got enough for probably a couple of months. Okay, so here's the plan. Okay, I want to arrive there in September in Long Beach. I'm going to try Long Beach. That's what I did last time. I'll be in Long Beach in September coming up. So look, it's going to be, I'll be there September, October, November, December, January, February, and I'm hoping by March of 2024 that I land that role, whatever it may be. I hope we're negotiating a role, whatever it may be. If it's me being director, me being writer, me being actor, whatever it may be, I hope it happens by March of 2024. I do have a way to get income. Okay, so I have that set. I already have that set and ready to go. And that I'm waiting patiently to be able to do all that. I've been waiting for a while. Now, listen, I know this sounds crazy, but I want you guys to know about Actor's Life and Cole Spivey, okay? I've been waiting to do this for 23 years, okay? For 23 years. I'm a father with 3 children, and that family life did not work out for me. Or it'd be family life with Cole Spivey. But I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give acting a try. And I'm going to hope that it works out. and I'm gonna give myself all of that September, all of October, all of November, all of December, all of January, all of February, and hopefully by March we'll be negotiating something. Okay? I plan to finish Skinny Pete and Friends. It's fun as crap to work on. I love working on it. So far, it's my favorite thing to work on right now. I look forward, but I'm also letting it stew. That reminds me, I gotta think of some dialogue today. But I'm going to continue working on Skinny Pete and Friend. And when I get a little bit of free time in a minute, I'm going to write that next scene because I've already got the note cards and I took photos of them. I think it's going to be probably this one. I stand corrected. It's that one. Didn't see the one on it because I do fine print on some of these things. Got to figure out what this is anyway. It's pizza. So trunk open. Been published in the past that Ed Wood was the worst filmmaker of all time. It's a true story. It was published, I believe, in the encyclopedia. It might have been published in other articles as well, but it was published that Ed Wood was the very worst filmmaker of all time. Oh, I can go this way. Of history. So, I don't know if it's still published today, but it was pretty bad. He did Plan 9 from Outer Space, Glenn or Glenda. I was supposed to play him at Hip Pocket Theater. I had to turn it down because my college wouldn't. They had me as Stanley Kowalski. I wasn't going to be able to do it, but I considered it, and I was pretty excited about it. Pete Gooch was the writer. He wrote. It wasn't like a musical, but it was kind of like a musical. But they had music involved, and it was a very serious production. They did it out in Hip Pocket. It was very funny. It came out the same weekend that Tim Burton's Ed Wood came out. And I'm very glad I didn't take it because Johnny Depp's probably best performance was of Ed Wood. It was definitely one of his best, other than Fear and Loathing. And I knew, and that's not the reason why I turned it down. I turned it down because I got Stanley Kowalski instead. But I thought to myself, because Pete already told me, Pete Gooch, he told me, he said, yeah, Tim Burton's doing this movie right now. I was like, oh, really? Okay. And I was backstage, Okay, Tim Burton, yeah, from Pee Wee Herman. Yeah, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. He goes, yeah. I said, well, who's playing Ed Wood? And Pete goes, Johnny Depp. Oh, really? It's interesting. And then later on, I was cast as Stanley Kowalski. I had to turn it down. Another guy named Ed Kennedy took the part, real nervous kind of character, moving around, all kind of nervous. Which I like Johnny Depp's better. He played him suave, He played him with humanity. It could be one of the best performances of all time. It certainly is on the chart for comedy, and Tim Burton. Definitely probably one of the all-time performances of all time, so... I didn't know how I was going to play Ed Wood. Pete talked to me, and he was like, well, he was very obsessed with Angora sweaters. I was like, okay. So he's gay. No, he wasn't gay at all. He had a wife and everything. Oh. But I didn't know. I mean, it was later. The whole story is crazy because I took Stanley, and then shortly after I did Stanley, I think it was the next semester in 1995 of January. Somewhere in that ballpark figure. I don't know for sure. I'm still trying to figure out, but I went crazy. I no longer knew my name. It was serious. I had to get help and get on a stabilization ward. Now, when I got released, I got better because I took Risperdal, and I also took Zoloft eventually down the line. But I think at the time they put me on Risperdal, and it was an antipsychotic drug, and I did get better, and I was able to remember my name. And I was doing Heidi Chronicles at Texas Wesleyan at the time. This was probably around 1995, because I was doing the math today, the calendar in my head. Well, I was actually looking at it on my iPhone, but still, regardless, I was looking at the calendar. And I thought to myself, when did I go crazy? When did I forget my name and all that kind of stuff? And we all kind of, Pink Floyd The Wall, When did that happen to me? And I was thinking it was maybe 1995 in January. Believe it or not. And so anyway, later on that year in 1995, I'm assuming, I went to France. I went to Paris, France. My mom took me with my stepdad, Earl, and my Aunt Connie. And there, lo behold, I had gotten a pack of Marlboro cigarettes. I could have got French cigarettes, but I just got Marlboros instead. And I walked around town. I don't think there were Camels. I think there were Marlboros, because the stand, I don't even know if they had Camels at that time. I smoked Camel Silvers. Well, I smoked Camels, and then later on Camel Silver came out, and I started smoking Camel Silvers. Eventually, I switched over to American Spirit, yellow and blue. Sometimes orange, if I was watching my cigarette intake. So I went there to Paris, France in 1995. It was probably around summertime or something. And Mom was walking around with Earl. They were taking photos. I went to the Eiffel Tower. I went to the Louvre. We went underground the Louvre. We went to the museum. Saw Mona Lisa. We did all that stuff. I said, Mom, I'm going to go get some money. I'm going to go see the movies in France. I think it would be cool to do. She said, okay, well, And I think I might have had a card. I don't really know. I went to an ATM. I remember going to the ATM. This lady, I was trying to use the ATM, trying to figure it out. And she goes behind me, she goes, Scusi. I'm like, I thought you say, excuse-moi, But she said, Scusi. Because I guess she knew I was English. So I moved out of the way, and she got her money real quick and walked out. And they do things like a million mile a minute. And so I was like, okay. And then I went back, I got back in the line with the ATM, because she just moved me out of the way. Scusi. And I was sitting there trying to figure out the ATM, pushing the buttons. Finally, I figured it out. The money came out. Ran down to the movie theater. I guess it was a nearby movie theater, some cinema house. I have no clue where. But it was a movie house. And there was Ed Wood playing. True story. I went in. I was in Paris, France. And I sat down in the movie house. Everybody was in there. There was many people in there, all laughing. I think I got there on time. It was black and white. And the subtitles were in French. So I got to hear everything that was going on, which is most of the movies in English. And it was a time of my life. I appreciate it. Years later, little would I know, I would be able to see Johnny Depp in person at the Actor Studio Drama School. That was the Actor Studio Drama School. And he was there talking about everything, It's pretty weird. All right, Thai Select. I think I probably would have been a pretty good Ed Wood. It would have been a lot of fun. One hour wait. I don't know. 1 hour. They're popular. Thai Select. I don't know. It's Sunday. 1 hour. But I'm gonna go with it. It's a pretty big order, so we're gonna wait 1 hour. I guess we'll get some knowledge at Movie Trading Company, which I'm about to walk in front of. I got to think about this vlogging thing when I go to California, because I don't know what type of internet access I'm going to have from this point on, somewhere between now and September, I'm going to be switching over to, I got to get in touch with Verizon, and I'm going to have to get on a plan for an iPhone Pro 14. I'm going to go with the Pro 14, the most modern, because I'm going to have to switch over to 5G. I'm going to have to be mobile and make sure the show goes up mobily through the phone. And I don't want any problems with that if it's a 10-minute or a 30-minute show, because 5G may be able to get a show up really quick. I have to see how it works, and we're going to experiment with that. Now, we're going to go into Movie Trading Company, and we're just going to look at movies. You know, just getting educated on movies. I like to come in here and see some Alfred Hitchcock stuff. I just like stuff to surprise me. And sometimes I even bought Kill Bill Volume 2, which I'll probably be selling before I leave, but anyway, I'll probably have to watch that one. No. I got the Kill Bill original. I'll probably be watching that one too before I leave. So that's what I'm kind of for, getting all the movies on digital, because you know what? I gotta put something up. Anyway, I recommend digital. What you mean is streaming digital. Streaming is what you mean, because then you don't have to carry the movies around. So I do have a collection. I do have a streaming digital one I can get into through Vudu, or VUDU. And the other one I use is, of course, you know, YouTube, because you can get movies off YouTube. Then you don't have to carry the movies around. It's about the same price, more or less. Maybe $4 or $5 more sometimes. But then you have it digital, as long as you're able to log in. You don't have to worry about when you move, if you're getting all your movies or selling all your movies, you know, which is what I'm going to be doing, because I don't want to move. I don't really watch those movies really anyway. If I really, really like a movie, I'm going to get it on streaming digital. When I say digital, I mean streaming. Anyway, I'm going to go back in here. I had to put something up in the car. Check this place out right here. Oh, wow. Check this out. Right here. This is great. This thing is shiny right here. From here, it looks like their eyes are glowing. There's my imagination. It only says the shiny. It's $10. Pretty interesting. If you like domestic violence movies with Jack Torrance and a guy named Jack Nicholson. Oh my God, I think a bunch of them. $9.99. Everything's $9.99. That looks like Gremlins. This one, oh cool, they don't have copyright on. This one, more Gremlins right here. Yeah, Evil Dead. Some Evil Dead stuff. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I gotta take this thing off right here. So I don't have to worry about copyright on it really. This one, Lost Boys, yeah. Oh, Halloween, okay. Freddy Krueger, oh my God. It's like Mount Rushmore. Freddy Krueger, Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, Leatherface, Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers. Yeah, gotta know all four of those if you're gonna talk horror, or horror, as in the horror magazines, or the horror movies. Okay, this is nice. You got Leatherface, Michael Myers, Pennywise, Chucky, and this one's Voorhees, Jason Voorhees, and Freddy Krueger. It's pretty cool right there. Let's see. This one over here. Oh, Alien, I got that one. I might keep that one. The Last One of Us. I might keep Alien. I don't know. Yeah, this one's good too right here. Church of Horror, dealing with Jason Voorhees, Abigail, Leatherface, Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter, Rob Zombie, Freddy Krueger, Pinface. Looks like maybe the Whale. I don't know. This is Ghostface, Chucky, Pennywise, Pigface, and whoever this is right here, Michael Myers. We Saw right there. I knew some of them. Abigail right there.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this would be a tough one. There's Olivella. I skipped that one. It's like cards on this stuff. Oh my goodness gracious. Nothing but horror. Creature from the Black Lagoon, old school. This is kind of what Guillermo based Shape of Water on a little bit. You've seen Shape of Water with Guillermo. It's a pretty good one. There's Jaws, Spielberg. Oh, this one might be worth purchasing. Robert Shaw. You know he's a novelist? Yeah, Robert Shaw wrote novels. There's Roy Scheider and Richard Dreyfuss, who was a major drunk. He went through a whole stage where he never acted on stage without being drunk. Yeah, Richard Dreyfuss had it really bad. I mean, really bad. Look at some of this right here. Hamilton, that name's familiar. John Williams, of course. Produced by Richard Zanuck, David Brown, Universal Picture, Technicolor, Panavision. Pretty interesting. What they need to do is this right here to help out people. There. Alright. And of course, Ramirez, Night of the Living Dead, which is pretty much a lower budget one right there. I would say it's lower budget or indie, pretty much. Look at this one here. The guy that created it all. Gravity is part of the things we have to worry about in life. Because it's one thing for sure that will get you. There's gravity. Gravity will get you every single time.